I remember sitting in my room filled with doubt about whether my manifestations would ever work. I was doing everything right. The meditations, the mental rehearsals, even the emotional rehearsals as well. But nothing was happening. What I didn't realize then was that my doubt wasn't blocking my manifestations, it was actually speeding it up. And Dr. Joe Dispenza's research shows something mind-blowing. It's that doubt creates a neurological state that's perfect for quantum leaps. And so in this video, I'll show you exactly how to work with doubt instead of fighting it, and why certainty might actually be your biggest manifestation block. Now, before we begin, I have just created a short 10-minute training. So if you are tired of chasing clients, inconsistent income, and feeling like business is always a struggle, then this training shows you how to apply the one neurological principle that to attract high-paying clients, double your income, and finally feel in control. If you want to check it out, link is in the description, and watch how it works. So think about this. We think about 60 to 70,000 thoughts a day, and 90% of those thoughts are the same as yesterday's. And so we're living in a loop, a pre-programmed cycle that keeps us trapped in the same reality. The worst part is, we don't even realize it. It's like trying to clean a dirty floor with a dirty mop and wondering why nothing's getting cleaner or nothing's changing. But here's where it gets interesting. When you experience doubt, something crazy happens in your brain. Your analytical mind temporarily steps aside and it creates what neuroscientists call a pattern interrupt. I'm sure you've heard it before. And now in that tiny gap, the moment of uncertainty, your brain becomes incredibly receptive to new programming. Let me break this down for you. There are two types of doubt, and understanding the difference will change everything about how you manifest. So first, there is destructive doubt. This is the one that you may be familiar with. This is the kind that says, I'm not worthy, this will never work for me, who am I to have this? This is the type of doubt that keeps you stuck in your old frequency. It's like having a GPS that only knows how to take you back to your ex's house. No matter where you want to go, it's like, recalculating to where the emotional trauma is. But then there is creative doubt, okay? Creative doubt says, I don't know how this will happen, but I am open to infinite possibilities beyond my current understanding. I don't know how it will come to me, but I'm excited for it to come. See the difference? One closes a door, the other opens them. It's like the difference between being at a party where you know nobody, and I'm sure you felt that feeling where you feel like you don't belong in that party, versus the feeling of, oh my God, there's a party tonight, I wonder who I'll meet. Okay, same situation, completely different energy. Because when you are in creative doubt, your brain produces a unique pattern of theta brain waves. And it actually mimics the brain of a child. And the children are the most powerful manifestors on the planet. Children don't know what impossible means. They live in a constant state of infinite possibility. That's why you can give a box to a kid and it'll be a spaceship or a roller coaster, whatever. But here's what's interesting. When you are absolutely certain about how something will manifest, you're actually limiting the quantum field to only that possibility, okay? There is infinite ways that it could come to you. But it's like you telling the universe, look, I know that you've been creating galaxies, multi-dimensions for billions of years. But let me explain how my manifestation should come. It should only come this way. Only. In my previous videos, I talked about the unknown, right? Dr. Joe talks about the unknown. That's where creation happens, in the void. Well, doubt is your doorway to that void state. Think about it like this. Certainty is like filling a cup that's already full. There's no room for anything new. But creative doubt empties your cup so it can be filled with something even better. It's like those people going to all-you-can-eat buffets and they fill up on bread before they even go to the main dish. And I remember when I was trying to work with a specific business coach. I had the whole thing planned out in my mind, exactly how it would happen, literally micromanaging every step. Who's going to be involved, the exact amount of money I would make. Guess what? Nothing happened. It was like a spiritual micromanager, and the universe was like sending HR to see what was up with that relationship. But then one day, after months of trying, months of tuning into new potentials, I just finally surrendered. I said, you know what, I have no idea how this is going to work out, and that's okay. I entered that void state of creative doubt, and within 2 weeks, an opportunity came that was 10 times better than what I had mentally rehearsed. And it came in a way that was completely different than I had imagined it. And Dr. Joe even says if it comes in a way that you expect it to be, that's not the unknown, that's the known. But that is the power of creative doubt. It opens you to possibilities beyond your current imagination. It's like going to a restaurant and instead of ordering your usual chicken sandwich, you just say to the chef, you know what, chef? Surprise me. and the chef brings you out something that you've never tasted, and it's better than your chicken sandwich. But let's get really practical. How do you know if you are in destructive doubt or creative doubt? Well, your body will tell you, okay? I'm sure you can feel it as well. Because when you are in destructive doubt, your heart goes incoherent. Your breathing shallows, your cortisol levels spike. You feel contracted, right? You feel small, you feel fearful. Dr. Joe mentions this. But when you are in creative doubt, something interesting happens. Despite the uncertainty, your heart maintains in a coherent rhythm. It's like you're calm. Your breathing remains deep and steady. You feel expanded, you're curious, and you're open. It's like your body is at a spa, right? While your mind is riding a roller coaster. That is the difference. Sometimes it's not even. Sometimes you're calm and you're just curious. And Dr. Joe's research shows that in this state of being in the unknown, or what I call the coherent uncertainty, is actually the most powerful state for manifestation. It's where your nervous system is calm enough to actually access the quantum field, even with your eyes open, but your mind is open enough to receive new possibilities. It's like being in a relaxed state at a party, but ready to kill it on the dance floor as soon as your song comes on. You know what I mean? Think about the most successful inventors in history. Einstein, Tesla, Steve Jobs, Elon Musk. They all share one quality. They are comfortable with uncertainty. They ask questions no one dared to ask, and they doubted the status quo. And that is exactly what creative doubt does for your manifestations. It helps you question your limitations and opens you up to greater possibilities. It's like upgrading from a standard definition to 4K. Suddenly you can see details you never knew existed. Now let's talk about why this works on a quantum level. In quantum physics, particles exist in a state of superposition, meaning they all exist in all possible states simultaneously until observed. So your manifestation works the same way. It exists in all possible forms until your observation collapses the wave function into one reality, meaning it drops into the 3D state. So when you are in the state of creative doubt, you're allowing the superposition to continue, giving the quantum field more freedom to bring you the best possible outcome, which is often better than what you could have ever imagined, coming from my experience, coming from my clients' experiences, and the testimonials. It's like telling Netflix, surprise me with something amazing, and you can discover a new show, your new favorite show. That's why Dr. Joe often says, the best way to predict your future is to create it from the state of the unknown state, the creative doubt state. That's where all the magic happens. It's like those cooking shows where they give the chefs random ingredients, and it limits them to force their creativity, and so they whip up a magical meal with limited ingredients. But in today's world, we are conditioned to seek certainty. You know what I mean? Social media shows us carefully curated lives where everything seems to be perfect and predictable. The personal development industry sells us foolproof systems and guaranteed results, okay? But the truth is, the most powerful manifestations come from embracing uncertainty, from being comfortable without knowing. It's like everyone's trying to follow a precise recipe for success, but the master chefs, they're the ones who know when to throw the recipe book out the window and create something new, right? They go with their taste. They don't measure the ingredients. They go from their palate. Think about it. The universe is infinitely more intelligent than our limited minds. When we try to control exactly how our manifestations will occur, we're telling the universe, you know what? My limited human perspective knows better than you, knows better than your infinite intelligence. How arrogant is that? Excuse me, universe. I know you created galaxies and all, but let me explain how my promotion should happen. It's going to happen on Tuesday at 2 p.m., and my boss is going to get on his knees and give it to me. Man, imagine what if we approach manifestation and with a both clear intention and creative doubt. What if our attitude was, oh, like, you know what, this or something better, in whatever serves the highest possible good? Now let me give you a practical exercise to start using creative doubt as a manifestation tool today. So start by choosing something you've been trying to manifest, okay? And then you close your eyes and imagine completely letting go of how it will happen. That's it. Just let go. Feel that instant relief of not having to try to figure it out. Feel the excitement of not knowing what amazing possibilities are going to come your way. It's like finally putting down like a heavy backpack you've been trying to climb uphill with. That immediate sense of, oh my God, that's better. Like relief is such a great feeling. Now place your hand on your heart and say, I don't know how this will unfold, but that's the most exciting part. And I'm open to new possibilities beyond my current limited mind. Now feel that how different this is from the stressed, forced certainty you might have been practicing before. This relaxed, open state is actually much more magnetic to your desires than desperation. It's like dating, same as dating. The difference between texting someone 50 times in a row versus being confident, detached, one repels, one attracts. Okay? And try this for just 5 minutes a day, each week. For actually 5 minutes a day for one whole week. And watch how synchronicities start to appear in your life very, very quickly. Here's the beautiful paradox though. When you embrace creative doubt, your belief actually becomes stronger, not weaker. Why does that happen? Because you are no longer placing your faith in specific outcomes or a specific path. Instead, you're placing your faith in the infinite intelligence of the universe, in something much bigger, something much more smarter than your limited mind. It's like trading your, old Nokia flip phones, or I think they were Motorola's, but trading your old phone into the latest smartphone. You know how to use that flip phone correctly, but are you really going to miss it when you can see what the new iPhone can do or something like that? You know what I mean? But that's what Dr. Joe means when he talks about surrendering to a greater mind. It's not giving up, it's about trading, exchanging your limited certainty for infinite possibilities. Well, it is about giving up. You're giving it to a greater mind, which has more knowledge and can see the whole terrain from a bird's eye point of view better than you can. Now, you might be thinking, doesn't manifestation say you need to be certain about what I want? Doesn't doubt show the universe I don't believe? That's a good question. Here's the distinction. Be certain about what you want, but be open about how it comes. See the difference? Be certain about what you want, but be open about how it comes. The problem isn't having a clear intention. That is essential. Even Dr. Joe says that. The problem is when we become so rigid about the pathway to that desire. Okay? We have to try to micromanage the universe. We actually block many of our miraculous ways our manifestations can come to us when we try to micromanage the universe. Because when you embrace creative doubt, when you surrender to not knowing, your heart naturally falls into a coherent rhythm. This creates a powerful, organized electromagnetic field that extends beyond meters. And you're much more magnetic to your desires as well. This is why people often manifest their biggest desires right after they've given up on them. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, screw that. It's not the giving up that works. It's the letting go of the how that creates coherence, which dramatically increases your manifestation power. But there's something even greater, something bigger happening here. When you learn to embrace creative doubt, you are not just changing your manifestation results, you are evolving your consciousness. The ability to remain comfortable with uncertainty is actually a marker of spiritual evolution. Powerful. It shows that you've transcended the ego's need for control, and you've opened yourself up to the greater infinite intelligence of the universe. You are now in flow with life. Think about every major growth period in your life. It probably came through uncertainty, right? You didn't know how it was going to happen. The times when you didn't know what would actually happen were the times where you evolved the most. Now I want to leave you with this. Perhaps the greatest courage isn't about in being certain, but in being willing to not know. In a world obsessed with certainty, having the courage to say, I don't know, and that's exciting. That's revolutionary. It is also the fastest path to manifesting your desires. So the next time doubt creeps into your manifestations, don't fight it. Don't see it as a sign that something's wrong. Instead, recognize it as a doorway, an invitation to step into the void where all creation happens.